Right, hello! Are we here? Are we live on YouTube? Let's jump back in on the chat. Hopefully, I'm not sure what's going on. Let's just wait until someone jumps in, because I'm talking right now and I'm not quite sure what's going on. This is concerning. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can see me. Oh no, I've never had this happen before. What a shame. That was a great start to the show as well. I was talking away. I was chatting away to you guys. Let me check my phone to see if it is actually working or not. It should be working. Oh, Penny's Pit Stop. I see you. Fantastic! Yes, we are live. Penny's Pit Stop. Welcome, 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 welcome to Minis-N-Muscles, the only place you need to be on a Friday evening, where the brawn meets the brush, where we talk all things geek, where we chat about absolutely everything and anything you can think of. Oh, Squarish is jumping in now. We've got you back. Bearded Veterans there. Wait's live. First time viewer and subber. Forced here at gunpoint by Bearded. Oh, Penny's Pit Stop. Don't tell me that you're been forced here. You should say, no, I wanted to join you guys. Pibsy, what's good, big fella? Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. It's lovely to have new subscribers. So I'm going to start all again because I had a bit of a technical glitch here on Minis-N-Muscles, where we started the stream at 7 as we always do. But I wanted to say welcome to everybody. Whether you're joining now live and chatting in the chat away with me, or whether you're joining historically and watching on catch up, we have got some big news, guys. Some big news, bigger than the guns. We are on 103 subscribers. Come on, 103. We made it over 100. I honestly, thank you. Like, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate every single one of you that has subscribed, that listens to me chat rubbish, and is supporting my channel. All I am here to do is build a wonderful community of like-minded individuals that love miniature building, love talking geek. So this is really special. Like, I don't cry, but if I would cry, or I could cry, I'd be crying right now. That's the kind of emotion I feel for you guys. So thank you. What's happening here? Penny Pit Stop in chat is saying, not really, I was recommended to check you out. Apparently me and you are on the same page regarding mini painting. Oh, okay, Penny Pit Stop. I'm listening. Tell me more about your minis. JPC is dropping in the chat. Hey, JPC, welcome on this evening. Bearded Veterans, I thought you were going to say you're pregnant then, Steve. No, I am not. I am not pregnant, okay? No, thank you. No children for me. But yes, it's bigger news than that. We have 103 subscribers, Bearded Veterans, and that is cool. But as usual, welcome to Minis-N-Muscles. What are we talking about tonight? Well, tonight's geeky topic, the topic that we kind of cycle through whilst painting miniatures. Tonight is going to be geeky books. So, geeky books, by geeky books, I mean things like, let's start with fighting fantasy books and choose your own adventure style books. That's what I wanted to kind of talk about, you know. Even we can delve into your Dungeons and Dragons and your Warhammer books. That's absolutely fine. But it's kind of like those geeky choose your own adventure books. They were really big in the 80s. Actually, I think they started in the 70s, but actually more big in the 80s, early 90s. But it's those books that you thumb through and you say, you know, oh, and the wizard does this. Go left in the path or go right, turn to this page. That's what we're talking about. So those awesome, cool choose your own adventure books is what the geeky topic is. So fill the chat with that tonight. That will be sort of the kind of topic and the flavour that we go through whilst painting miniatures. Of course, we wouldn't be Minis-N-Muscles if we didn't have our muscle moment. Tonight's muscle moment is going to be heavy lifting, low reps versus light lifts and high reps. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm very gesticular with my hands this evening. And then obviously, of course, we are going to be continuing painting. So what we got here in the chat, apart from me not being pregnant, I confirm I am not pregnant. JPC saying gunpoint gets things done. Certainly does, as long as you're kind with it. Penny Pitstop is jumping in. I just paint. Not interested in playing, but fairly recently back to hobby and just bought a 3D printer. And I plan to print and paint. I'm not great at painting, but I'm okayish, always pushing my limits. So yeah, that is exactly what we're talking about here in Minis and Muscles. Like, I am not a pro painter by any stretch of the imagination. I'm pretty average, right? And I realised, I thought it was okay, and then I realised how average I am when I went on a painting course a few weeks ago, and I was awful at it. Didn't understand the guy's instructions, painted back to front and all the rest of it, and got massively confused. Because my little pea brain couldn't help, or couldn't understand what he was talking about. But, like you, Penny Pitstop, I literally had never played a game of Warhammer before, ever. Hadn't played Dungeons and Dragons, ever. I painted miniatures as a kid. So Warhammer miniatures, ones, I didn't have a huge amount of cash as a kid, so actually it was miniatures that friends had donated to me until I saved up loads of money, enough money to buy a little miniature myself from Games Workshop. And then I painted that as a kid, never played a game. I did a little bit later, this was about 13, 14, about 15. I did play Blood Bowl, and I did play Mordheim, which were like sort of small skirmishy type games off the back of other Games Workshop games. So I did play those, but only with one buddy. So yeah, I hadn't played any of that. Then stopped painting, stopped the geek world, joined the army, went off and done all things roughy tufty. And then it was only during COVID that I bought some more models, and then found my love for it again and sort of sparked it back up. And yeah, I've kind of then sort of started painting models and getting a little bit better as we go. And then just thought, oh, sod it, I'll just make a channel and talk about it. Penny Pitstop was saying she loves the Blood Bowl minis. 100%. Blood Bowl minis are epic. I do have some teams. I've got, I think, 3 teams. I've got Orc team, I've got an Elf team, and a Human team, I believe. Oh no, and a Chaos team. It's 4 teams. Orc, Chaos, Human, Elf. So that's what I've got. JPC will be back shortly. JPC, how very dare you leave the channel, sir? This is not appropriate. But yeah, Squarish, don't sell yourself short. Seeing your stuff at Comic Con, it looks awesome. Oh, thank you very much. We will also cover Comic Con tonight and have a chat about that and what's going on. Beardy Veteran saying I have an entire bookcase on World War I books, a bookcase of books on trains, other historic novels, and 3rd bookcase of photography books and general novels. Does that count as geeky? Mate, 100%. I don't care what the books are. I just kind of chose Choose Your Own Adventure purely because it was something that I had a bit of a passion in as a kid. Take a breath, Steve. I had a great Orc team painting up in the style of Legion of Doom. Oh, mate! Legion of Doom? I think Penny Pitstop, we're on a similar path here. My favourite wrestler was Ultimate Warrior, of course, because he was a lunatic. But yeah, Legion of Doom was sweet. Animal and Hawk. Yeah, I remember them. Very cool. Yes, appreciate that. That would be very cool. So, where are we? Let's just catch up on our model, right? So let's just flick across to our model. Our Sisters of Battle tank. Here we are. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Oh, that's in. Let's just zoom out a little bit so we can just stick that in. There we go. So here's our Sisters of Battle tank, our Kit Bash tank. This is where it stands at the moment. So we've got a nice sort of frontage to it. This back door keeps annoying me, but we've got a nice frontage. There we go. Got the sides that are starting to look pretty sweet. Obviously, we've got the top where we've put our own cannons on the top. So we've sort of... These were actually the spare legs, I think, off a Dreadnought or something like that. And I've kit bashed them to look like flamers, which is cool. We've got our little pulpit up here that is going to be for our Steve Minis and Muscles figure. We'll bring him out shortly. We've moved the Sisters of Battle Lady to the rear. And we've got a lovely stained glass window to go on the top here. So that's going to kind of go like that on the back. So it's very Sisters of Battle, very churchy, which I like. So that's going to be cool. And of course, it wouldn't be nothing without our Minis-N-Muscles Steve miniature. Let's just zoom in on the coolness that is our Minis-N-Muscles Steve mini. There we go. Let's get some light on him. There we are. There we go. There he is in all his glory with his little textbook. He's going to be a Ministorum priest. I did bastardize this flamer onto the top, but it's off of oh crikey, it's off of a what's it called? It's not a multi-pistol, multi-bolter, multi-something. Forget the names of everything, but don't worry. I am going to swap that out because I have just got some new hand weapons in that I'm going to swap out on him, so it looks a bit more in scale because that kind of looks crazy. But that is me, and that is my mini, and he's going to go on top of our tank. So that's where he's going to go. What we got here? I think we might be painting soulmates. I think we might be Penny Pit Stop. I think it's quite possible that we are painting buddies. So that sounds very cool. Bearded Veteran saying, Yimmer for a bottle of Nuki Brown, methinks. I don't know what Yimmer means. What does Yimmer mean? Am I missing something? Not Nuki Brown for me. It is liquid death. This is water, sparkling water with nothing in it. But it's very, very nice. So I'm drinking these a lot at the moment. Pibsy is saying, when's this bad boy seeing some action? Well, as soon as it's finished painting. So what the buggers at Games Workshop recently done in an update of the rules for Sisters of Battle, they changed some of the point values for stuff. So one of the armies that this specific model was going to be part of, the Bringers of Flame detachment, they've actually kind of nerfed some of the weapons and up to the points of stuff. So I need to rework my army, but I do have a game on Sunday. This Sunday I'm playing Warhammer 40,000. So I very much look forward to possibly taking this tank with me. I'm going to sit there tomorrow and strategize about what I'll be taking, but it might be this tank. So we will see. But it will be in battle, trust me. It will be happening, Pibsy, don't you worry. Oh, Bearded Veteran saying time, not Yimmer. Yeah, no worries, mate. I got rather confused then. I know I'm old, but I thought, geez, Yimmer? What the hell is Yimmer? But anyway, that was a hectic start, wasn't it, peeps? So we've kind of covered where we are with the tank and the kind of update. Where do we start next on what we paint? I mean, that's the question, right? So if I switch back to our minicam, let's just zoom out a little bit because we've got a tank and not a miniature, so we need a bit of space on the camera. Right, what are we painting next, peeps? Where do we start, right? We've got, I'll put our Steve Mini on the top there, just so he's there. But what do we paint? Do we paint the Steve Mini? Do we paint our sister that's sat on the back here in the turret? Do we paint the Hunter-Killer missile? Do we just start doing the things like these little ritual things and the flag here? Oh, you can't quite see it, but there is a... There we go. There is a flag here that I'm poking. What should we paint tonight? Adrian has jumped in on the chat and he's saying, hello, Steve. Hello, Adrian. How are you, sir? I hope you're well. I hope you've recovered from our online D&D session. I do Dungeon Master for Tactical Advanced Game every Monday night. Tactical Advanced Game is a subsidiary of Games Therapy UK, which is a UK registered charity. Tactical Advanced Game is the military veterans side of that. So I look after that and I do a lot of games for those. So it's where quite a few of you may or may not know me from. Pibs is saying, yeah, they got hit with a lot of changes. 100% they did, bro. Yeah, they really did get spanked. I even bought a model over there to be painted, the St. Catherine. So a huge, great big model with lots of different intricate figures on it. And that's like gone up by something like 80 or 90 points or 100 points. It's ridiculous. So yeah, it's kind of gutted me a bit. Bearded Veteran's saying the missile. Pibsy's saying Little Steve. Bearded Veteran's saying yay, go tag. So, we've got two things that people have picked out here. It's the Hunter Killer Missile and Mini Steve. What are we painting? I want to vote here, guys. Come on. Give me some votes. Hunter Killer Missile. If you're going for Hunter Killer Missile, type in chat Hunter. If you're going for Little Steve, the priest, type Priest. Priest or Hunter? What do we want? That's what we're going to paint this evening, or at least start with anyway. We'll probably get onto some other things, but let's just drop these two minis down here, or part of the mini. We've got the Hunter Killer, and we've got Mini Steve. I need to get some better lighting, I think. Because it's just not good enough. I'm not happy with how it's not lighting up properly. Yeah, maybe there's about right. And then you get blocking the camera a bit. Like that, maybe. I don't know. So, we've got Hunter, one for Priest. Nah, that's crazy, BV. BV? Oh, I don't know what BV is. I've forgotten. Adrian's saying the underside of the tank, or is it just bare plastic? Well, the underside of the tank, Adrian, it does have the tracks painted and the hubs painted, but it is just black at the moment. It's nothing special. But I'm not doing that's like the last bit on there. I'm not doing that tonight. Yeah, so Hunter Killer Missile or Priest. Come on, stick it in the chat. We've got one for Priest, one for Missile. Oh no, we've got two for Priest actually, because Pibsy's voted Priest as well. So if we don't get another vote for anything else, I'm going to start on the Priest and get him crack-a-lacking. BV, oh, back. Ah, gross. That's gross. Oh dear, you dirty buggers. I'm not even going to repeat that word. How very dare you. Right, I'm going to close it in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Voting is closed. So we're going to be painting Little Steve tonight to start with anyway. So let's move the Hunter Killer Missile out of the way. And we're going to have to zoom in here because otherwise you're never going to see stuff. That's about right. So we've got Little Steve, there he is. Nurgle's Blessing. Don't know about that. Don't know if we can support the dirty form of chaos. Oof. So we've got this guy here, right? Now, if we bring in, and this is just some of the Sisters of Battle that I'm painting, by the way. So this is one of the ladies here. There she is. Let's turn her that way. She's not finished yet, so she's on the pile to the side of me that I'm continually painting, right? But this is her. So we need some reds and some dark reds, some bright reds from the outside of the habit. The habit is like this flappy bit of material. So yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah, I think you might have misread my message. No, that wasn't me misreading the message. That was Bearded Veteran. Adrian's saying drill the barrels. The barrels are drilled already, so don't worry about that. Okay, if you keep bad-mouthing chaos like that, we may fall out. Oh, no! Don't worry. Actually, here, I'll let you into a secret, Pit Stop Penny. Penny's Pit Stop. In my pile of shame over here... In fact, can I reach it? Can I get it from here? Oh, I might be able to get it. Hold on. In my pile of shame, I'll show you that as much as I paint Sisters of Battle, look who I have over here. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. That is Mortarion. Mortarion. We can put it under this one, actually. There. Oh, no, it's a bit too zoomed in. But there he is. Mortarion. So here's the Primarch of Nurgle. So, you know, I do say that because right now I'm painting Sisters of Battle, but yeah, I also have other models as well. Don't you worry, my dear. We cater for everybody here. We don't silence the spawn of chaos We allow you to reign free. Little Steve's plasma gun or the sister's plasma pistol. Yeah, we're going to start on Little Steve, Adrian. That's what we're going to do this evening. So, have you got your water ready, guys? If you're painting along this evening, make sure you've got some nice clean water. I've even got a clean wet palette here, so I'm ready to rock. Right. Oh, forgot to tell you guys. I bought a new paint mixer. Here it is here. Oh, God. Because my old one broke. Now, I have to admit to you guys, because I always talk about buying cheap as you can, right? Because that's, excuse that noise, that's just the paint mixer, all right? Calm yourselves. So, I always talk on this channel about like cheap and effective ways of painting minis and doing your hobby, right? And I don't like to, I try not to spend a lot of money because this hobby is very expensive, right? And I think everyone will agree that especially Games Workshop models are pretty pricey. They're very good, but they are pricey. And one of the things I bought that was very cheap was a paint mixer. So these little things here, and in fact, let's just go big screen. There we go. These little things here, right? You put your paint on the top and it vibrates. It vibrates to shake the paint up. It's like a paint agitator. They're used in what they called. They're used in like laboratories and things like that to mix paints. So I got one. I got one off Amazon. I paid like 20 quid for it. Super cheap. Looked very good. Seemed very good. But actually, when I got it, it wasn't very good. It broke pretty quickly, and the motor in it knackered out. As soon as you were holding anything on the item to activate it, the motor just burnt out. Already, I can feel with this one, although I just dropped my paint, absolutely, I can condone. This was more expensive, but I can condone it. It shakes the hell out your paints. So, little lesson there. If you go too cheap sometimes, it doesn't always pay. That's not to say cheap stuff doesn't work, because I used a paintbrush the other day that was like, it was like £1 for 10. And the paintbrush was actually really good. I was quite surprised. But, yeah, it wasn't very good, that last paint shaker. So talking of paints, what paints are we using tonight, Steve? Well, we are using 2 reds to start on the habit of our little mini Steve. And we're going to go with these 2 colours here. So, Mephiston Red and Corn Red. Mephiston Red, which is this one here, that is going to be the brighter red, and we're going to put that on the outside of the habit. I want a little bit of, without having to go technical and start painting shadows and get that, I'm just going to use Corn Red on the inside of the habit to look like the darker side of the habit, so it doesn't look like super bright and in your face. So let's get some Corn Red out. We're just going to stick a little bit. We don't need a huge amount, but we'll stick a little bit onto our wet palette. Stick that on there. That's what you're saying in chat. I love my Vortex mixer. Yeah, for years I poo-pooed it because it was a lot of money and cheaper to shake pots, but since I got mine, it's a game changer. I agree, Penny's Pit Stop. 100% it's a game changer. It really is good. I was getting like RSI from going like this all the time. Nuts, right? Why don't you just get a paint mixer and it does it far better. So yeah, it is worth it. If you can afford it, it's well worth it. Is it essential? No, but it is really, really good. So if you can get one, I would advise anyone to get one. Was that Adrian's saying they're used in certain private establishments? I don't know what private establishments you're going to, but yeah, I'll take your word for it, Adrian. Penny's also saying she's a paintbrush snob. Only Sable and Kalinsky. Oh, sorry, Sable and Kalinsky Sable for me, I'm afraid. Yeah, so I'm pretty open to trying different things. What I have been really disappointed with is Games Workshop Citadel brushes. I do have some Citadel brushes. I've been really disappointed with them. I'm currently trying a few of the Army Painter brushes at the moment. This was the brush I used. It's called a Major brush. And it's quite a large synthetic brush. The tip, I had to just cut an extended bit of hair off the top because the tip wasn't particularly good. But it actually paints all right. I haven't used it for a prolonged period of time, so I can't tell you too much. This one is a Nick Pro. It's pretty good. It's lasted. I've done loads of models with this so far. It's had a lot of action. But Citadel I've been really disappointed with. I do have some lovely wolfskin paintbrushes that are sat in my little collection here, ready and waiting. I just haven't got them out yet. I just want to get through this that I've got, the stock that I've got, and once that is done I will switch over. Because not so long ago did I do a full switch of paintbrushes. So here we go. I'm just going really light. This is all pre-mixed on my wet palette, so really light on this corn red. Just taking a little bit. It's a little Steve's habit. So what are we saying here? Yes, corn red is the Echo E colour. Oh no, the colour of freedom. Oh, yeah. Vortex mixture is like a faster broadband. You can live without it, but once you have it, you can't go back. I agree. Take a look at Rosemary & Co. A Series 99. So you talk of Rosemary & Co. A buddy of mine, so he sometimes hops on the channel. His name on YouTube, I think, is Colour Me Pete. Certainly that is his name on the Discord. So Colour Me Pete is another army buddy of mine who is another miniature painting geek, and he does a lot of mini painting, and he even does commissions. So he's actually helping me finish my army. My sister's a battle army. Because I don't know about some of you, but I said before, I get sort of character tired, and or squad tired, should I say, and I get a little bit disheartened with painting multiple squads. So he's helping me paint a few of my squads, but he does commission painting, very high standard as well, so it depends on what you're willing to pay, but he can do ultra high, standard tabletop level, or he can do sort of ultra high commission painting as well for single pieces. His name is Colour Me Pete, and you'll find him on my Discord channel. He's a good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, oh, what was I going to talk about? We was going to talk about books, weren't we? So, what was I going to say about choose your own adventure books? And please do feel free to drop in the chat as well and talk about other things. But choose your own adventure books started in the 80s and 90s, or gained popularity, should I say, in the 80s and 90s. Depending on when you grew up and how old you are, whether you're as old as what I am or whether you're, a bit younger, not a problem. We do have some new younger subscribers because I met a few people at Comic-Con and they subscribed to my channel. So if you're watching tonight, thank you very much. For those that popped by the Game Therapy UK stand at Comic-Con in London, not the other weekend, you were kind enough to subscribe to my channel. So thank you very much. It was lovely to meet you. But yeah, they started, the Choose Your Own Adventure books started getting really popular in the 80s and 90s, and that's where I certainly found them anyway, as a kid. And they were bloody brilliant. It was like the first time you ever got to experience choice. And it was a bit like a computer game, but, given it was a book, you could apply your own sort of theatre of mind to it. And it was just bloody brilliant. Absolutely enjoyed it. Having the option to go one way or another in a book was like, oh my god, this is legendary. And I remember buying from a boot fair what was it? It wasn't a fighting fantasy book. It was called something like Time Ninjas. No, Time Capsule or something like that. And it had like a silver banner on the book, top of the book, and the book was actually a ninja book, and it was a ninja adventure, and it was awesome. It was so cool, and I remember reading it time and time again. I never completed it, not once, and That's how hard it was, or how hard I found it. And then I also bumped into the fighting fantasy books. So there's a legendary person in the world of the fantasy realm, the geek realm. Some of you may or may not know of the person, depending on your age, I think. But his name is Ian Livingstone. Ian Livingstone is one of the founding fathers of Games Workshop, if you didn't know that. Ian Livingstone also writes an absolute ton of books, like a metric butt ton of books, fantasy style books, and he created the Fighting Fantasy series of books. Absolute legend of the game. I was very lucky enough to meet him, to shake his hand and to thank him for inspiring me as a geek, as a kid, and I still read some of his stuff now. And actually, someone that watches the channel and is a follower of the channel, Mira Manga, she on a Sunday night actually reads out the Fighting Fantasy books, reads the stories. You can follow along and choose the adventure as you go, and she's very, very cool. So if you like that sort of stuff, I think you should go and visit her channel. So yeah, but Ian Livingstone started. He was the founder of Games Workshop. What we're saying in the chat, are you giving little Steve a dirty habit? Oh, there's always one, isn't there, bearded veteran? There's always one. Mini Steve is a priest, okay? He's a priest of the God Emperor. How dare you bestow such a rude comment on him? He's a man of light and a man of faith. Who knows what he gets up to behind closed doors, though. So we're just applying a very thin layer of red across the habit. And this one is our Mephiston red, which is a brighter red, just to give it that sort of two-tone effect between the underside and the front. You'll see a lot of the shadow comes through when you've got a black, undercoat. I quite like that. I like that effect. I talk about it a lot, about black undercoat versus white undercoat. I do prefer black. Yes, you can do that funny thing, I always forget the name of it, where you spray the model from the top down with white over your black to give some highlights, but I like this way. So that's just my method and preference. I also find it easier for someone that, you know, doesn't have as much patience as a professional painter, or as much skill. I just like to keep it quick, keep it simple, keep it easy. So hence why I just go with this. How's everyone liking the spooky music tonight? Is everyone liking the spooky music? As you can see here, if we flip them over, you've got like a dark red on the inside with the bright red on the outside. I love that vibe. I think that's a really cool vibe. All my Sisters of Battle have it, so if I grab a sister here, just bring her into the frame, you'll see red, like bright red on the outside, and if you flip her up, that's that sort of dark red on the inside. Same for Mini Steve. We've gone for the same vibe because he's going to be part of my sister's crew. So he's looking alrighties. He's got a couple of pouches there we're going to have to paint brown. Just want to paint some pouches up. That'd be cool. What we're saying in... Oh, Zenithal highlights. Yes, 100% Zenithal. Why do I always forget that? Semaphore. You're thinking of Semaphore, bearded veteran. So he's a priest, so he's probably up to something. How very dare you! How dare you question a ministerium priest of Minis-N-Muscles? How very dare you! If you've ever had a model with lots of skin, take a look at Vince Ventura's tutorial on warm zenithal. It'll blow you away. Yeah, so I do watch a fair amount of different other painters online and what they do and how they do it. And I'm in awe of many different various painters. The difference is I'm not that great at painting. I'm okay, but I get really confused with some of these techniques. I think I need someone to sit down with me and teach me some of these techniques, but I get quite confused quite easily. yeah, I try and stay away from really technical stuff. Also, when you're painting a large army and you're trying to get it done to play games, you want to get it done as quickly as possible. So there's some bigger figures. In fact, I might bring him on in a second. I might go grab him, where I'm trying to start that kind of painting vibe, where you start to look at layers and shadings and things like that, because it is possible. It's just about time, really. And we're all busy in life and have a lot of work commitments and all the rest of it, so it's about what can you fit in. But I don't know if this skin colour's right, actually. No, it's a bit light, isn't it, for me? Yeah, see that skin colour? Bit too white, isn't it? And I'm a little bit more browner. So let's change that. See if we can get a different colour in here and mix that up. That skin colour, by the way, is Kislev Flesh. I'm gonna get some Cadian Flesh Tone and mix that in. So what we're saying in chat. Well, the front and back of the tabard are raised, obviously, from a powerful fart. Yeah, standard. That would be me. It's a protein-powered fart, of course. Bearded Veteran, I was thinking of flag signals. Yes, you were, sir. Zemaphore, yeah. Painting isn't a skill. The skill is in the learning the rules. Yeah, for me, Penny's Pit Stop, it's all about enjoyment. Like, how much do you enjoy it? How much do you get from it in terms of fun? I don't do it for a labour. I do it for love. And I think that's massively important. You can't sit there and spend hours and hours and hours, because these models take bloody hours, right? Let's not beat around the bush. They take a long time to do. If you turn it into something that takes too long, you will lose interest, or I will. So I can't do that. I find it very difficult, so I lose interest in doing huge amounts of squads and stuff. So I try to not do huge amounts of squads, do some characters, and keep it like that. Because otherwise, if I go too heavy, I get too confused. Not too confused, but too frustrated, I think, is probably the best word. This paint's now too thin. Never mind, that's okay, because we can do layers, so that's fine. So let's just slap it on him. Get him a bit of skin colour on there. Because we can always go over with something else as well. And that's another beauty about painting. Oh shit, I'm painting off screen, sorry guys. I do that all the time, so please do jump in if I'm starting to do that. I always forget because my camera's just slightly further forward than what I think it is. I was happy with this model. So Penny's Pit Stop's talking about getting a printer, 3D printer. I actually had to get someone on Etsy to print this file, so I created my mini Steve on Hero Forge, and I then got in touch with a printer on Etsy, and a lovely guy called John. John at... Ooh, crikey, what was the company? I did have a little sticker somewhere to remind me what the name was. Sorry, John, if you listen, I've forgotten the name. It'll probably come to me shortly. But John in Etsy, and he was kind enough to print off my mini Steves. So that was very helpful. But I gave him some muscles, obviously. Let's just get this on. It is way too thin, by the way, this paint, guys, so do not take any notice just yet. It will change as we get through it. One of the things you do find as you're painting models, they never look right until you get to about 90% done or 80% done, and then all of a sudden you go, oh yeah, that looks half decent, I like that, and you kind of change your mind on the model itself. It's a bit like when I was painting on that class. I didn't like it right until right to the end, and then I was like, oh, it's not too bad, I guess. But anyway, talking rubbish as always. May I be rude and ask what you paid for it to be printed? No, it's not rude at all. It's just a question. There's no question that's rude, I don't think, really. What did I pay? I think He'd done it for like £3 or something like that. It wasn't a huge amount. Oh no, he did it for free. Here's why. So, John also prints these. So these stained glass windows, and I wanted a stained glass window for the tank. I bought one from him. It was way too big, so I messaged him and said, "Oh, mate, it's way too big. Can you redo it?" And he said, "Yes, he can." And he's like, "Oh, I can. Yeah, not a problem." And I rebought another one, and because I rebought another stained glass window from him, he printed my mini Steves for free. But I did recently use him again to print off a mini Dr. Evil that I used for a Dungeons and Dragons game, and that was like £3. Wasn't a lot of money, so he's very fairly priced. So I did play Dr. Evil in a Dungeons and Dragons game yesterday, which was hilarious. I very much enjoyed that. He's just so funny. I love that movie anyway, but he's just a hilarious character to play. Yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about something else, and as always, as you know, chat, I get very distracted very easy, and I forget what I'm talking about. So right now, I'm not being particularly careful with this paint. I'm just getting it on him, purely to get some kind of flesh tone into the model. You don't have to be, because at this stage you don't really have to be super careful. You know, if you go over lines, it doesn't matter. Don't panic. It's not the end of the world. It's more about just getting some coverage right now and cracking out the detail as we get to a position where the model is more finished. Obviously, don't be reckless when you're painting your model. Try to be a little bit careful. But yeah, don't worry too much if you go over edges and things like that. It's not the end of the world. Just noticed he's got a gammy finger. He's got a dodgy finger. That's right. We'll paint around that, and then hopefully we can get rid of that in a bit. Righty. Yeah, so I was talking about the Fighting Fantasy books and Ian Livingstone and Steve Jackson, who started those books. Ian Livingstone was one of the guys that started Games Workshop. Steve Jackson one as well, I can't remember. It might well be Steve Jackson as well. They started Games Workshop, so they're very famous in the world of writing books. And they write very good Fighting Fantasy Choose Your Own Adventure books. Has anyone in the chat played a Choose Your Own Adventure book? If you have, stick into chat what you've played, stick in the title, let me know, because I would love to hear if you have. It'd be very interesting to see who hasn't played a Fighting Fantasy book. There's our little mini Steve. There we go, let's place him there for now. So I'll wash my brush. We'll let that dry just so we can put another coat on shortly. What's happening in chat? Bit of veteran saying, since that fabric is two separate pieces that only covers the genitals and the backside, isn't that technically a loincloth? Alright, smart ass. Possibly. Yes, possibly. Penny Pitstop saying, okay, but £3 is reasonable. Yeah, 100% £3 is reasonable. Where's my Dr. Evil? Let me get my Dr. Evil. I'll show you what he looks like. So my Dr. Evil that I played in Dungeons and Dragons yesterday. Here he is. Here's my Dr. Evil. And I took 2 seconds to paint him. There's no detail on him at all, so don't judge. It was just done very quickly for a game. But £3. It's not bad for a model. He actually sent me 2 for £3. So honestly, he's a great guy. Where's that darn advertiser? I wanted to give him a shout out because he was really, really helpful. Let's just see it over here. I'm going to put it in this box of stuff. No, I did a clear up the other day. Would you believe it, guys? Did a clear up, and in a clear up I lose everything. So Pibbs is saying, where's your little Alpha Legion guy chilling? Ah, Pibsy. Where's the little Alpha Legion guy chilling? Ah, okay. How do you know I have Alpha Legion guy, Pibsy? Suspicious. Well, my little Alpha Legion guy is actually in my house, chilling in my house. I haven't brought him out here. I put him on my bedside cabinet, and then I just haven't brought him down to the man cave yet. Penny's Pit Stop saying, I've read and played a few books, but it was a long time ago, so I can't remember them. Pibsy with a wink. Yes, caught you, Pibsy. Well, fighting fantasy books are really, really cool. So, I mean, what they do is combine like engaging storylines with the sort of role-playing element in a really basic format, which is super cool. You can also roll dice in the fighting fantasy books. You don't have to, but you can. It makes it more interesting, and it's actually part of what you're supposed to do. So it's 2d6 that you need to roll and throughout the game, and it's bloody brilliant. So you're just rolling dice. You have a little character sheet with sort of points, and the points are really, really simple, so don't think it's really hard. Points are super simple. You have your character, you just like a few health points, a few skill points, things like that, luck points, and you just roll dice when it book tells you to. And then you have to beat a certain score to get through to the next stage. It's absolutely awesome. There's books like The Warlock of Firetop Mountain, Death Trap Dungeon, that all absolute Lizard King? Is it Lizard King? They're all absolutely fantastic books. Really, really fun. And they're super engaging, super fun, and I would say they are 110% worth buying. You can buy them off of eBay or Vinted or something like that for a couple of quid for a book. If you've never tried one and you're a geeky kind of person and you like fantasy stories and you like just the geeky world in general, I bet you a tenner. Now everyone's going to come at me and go, I don't like it, so you owe me a tenner. But I bet you a tenner that you would like it if you tried it, right? They are super interesting and super engaging. They're very, very cool, very, very funky. Lots of different thematic parts, sort of elements to them. Was the original one that I liked called Time Bandits or something like that, and they would choose your own adventure. There was one that had in a dinosaur world, one that was like a ninja type world, but they were very cool as well, but they weren't Ian Livingstone books. Dropping more paint. I'm just mixing up some more paint as we go, mixing up some browns for our Mini Steve, because Mini Steve needs some browns on him. Browns for the hair, so we're going to go dark brown for the hair, same as me, and we're going to go for sort of lighter browns for the pouches that he's got around his waist. So he's got sort of two weapons pouches around his waist. So let's go for hair first and just do that. Let's just take that out, stick a little bit in our tray. Always use your wet palette, guys, because it saves on paint, because you can use your paint again and again and again. Also it just means the paint comes out a bit thinner, so you're not lapping on gloop. At Comic Con, so we had, as Game Therapy UK, we had a stand there, and we had people coming, just anybody coming up to the stand and painting minis, and I was sort of giving people a few guidance points on miniature painting. And there was one guy, I can't remember his name, but there was one guy that came to the stand, and to start with, he picked up a Space Marine to paint. And to start with, I think it was one of his first minis he'd ever done, and he just lathered on the paint, lathered it on, big old gloops. You know, where you get paint that's all the way up to the end of the bristles and onto the metal thing that I forget the name of. He really did hammer the paint on. And I was sort of going over to him and like, right, okay, just not being mean, but correcting him on, you know, less is more. And that's my best phrase that I use for painting. Less is more. Always less is more. I like to, if you see how much I'm taking onto my paintbrush every time I go over to my wet palette, it's hardly anything at all. And that's the beauty. It spreads so well, providing you've got a little bit of moisture in your wet palette to be able to thin it down. So you don't really need a huge amount. And this guy was painting his Space Marine anyway, and he was plodding on loads of paint, and I was like, right, okay, just think about what you're doing here. And he was like, oh, it looks terrible, it doesn't look nothing like yours. And I was like, look, you're not painting like me. You don't want to be me, you want to paint like you. Because you are a unique person. So it was more about showing him, right, okay, so you have painted a load on. Now let's try with a little bit of paint. And let's go careful. And we sort of worked together, and I sort of sat with him and just give him little pointers. Right, now take a little bit of this gold. Just paint a little bit of gold trim here. Right, okay, put a little bit of silver there. Put a bit of bronze there. And we just started to pick out tiny little features on the Mini just to break up the big splodge he put on. And it actually ended really well. And the guy was like, oh, I really like this Mini. Can I keep it? I was like, no. Unfortunately, you're painting it for the charity. But he was actually so proud of his Mini by the end of it. You know, he took a little photo of it, which was nice. I have gone over a bit here on his skin, but don't worry, we'll cover that off. What we got? Oh, Butterfly Horse has joined the chat. Hello, Butterfly Horse. How are you? I missed joining at the beginning. Fireworks. What's the chat for your painting? I am painting Mini Steve. So this is me, Butterfly Horse. This is me in the Warhammer world. Yeah, look at the guns there. You can see the relation, right? Yeah, I got that's what you meant. What am I painting? But this is Mini Me. I'm painting, and he's going to go on the top of our tank. So our custom tank that we're building, he is going to go on top. Bearded Veteran is saying, Squarish, are we still playing Sean Bean Quest on the server on Sunday? Oh, Sean Bean Quest, eh? That's interesting. Tell all, tell all. Just going to correct some little bits here that I went a little bit too much on. So just to take the edge off that and round here. Rather than going to use a really fine detail brush, I'm just being ever so gentle with Mini Steve right now. Mini Steve needs some love. There we go. Just painting out, it's actually a bit too light actually. But that's okay, that'll do, that'll do. There we go. Here we are. Get some on his back as well. A little bit more. This is not going to be perfect, guys, so don't worry. This is not what we're aiming for. We're not about perfection here at Minis-N-Muscles. We're about the enjoyment of the hobby and the fun. We're going to have to put some more paint on there, though, that's for sure. That's what he's looking at so far. He's got his hair done. Looks half decent. Adrian's saying, fighting fantasy up to 50. Steve Jackson's 4 sorcery books. I'm going through the Lone Wolf books after getting the new hardback book signed by Joe Devers, son of Dragon Meat, on the 23rd. Oh, okay, sweet. So that's the next kind of geeky event that's happening this year is Dragon Meat, and that is in London is it November? Yeah, it's this month. Is it November? Yes, it's November now. So it's November, it's this month, so it's pretty awesome. So please do come see me at Dragon Meat if you're going to go there. I'll be there on the Game Therapy UK stand, more than likely, or at least I'll be wandering around. This time I'm going to try and get some lives, because at Comic Con, the signal was absolutely useless. I really wanted to do some live streams, but I couldn't because the signal was so poor. But Squarish is saying, at Bearded Veteran Creates, unfortunately can't do this weekend, had some work come in. Bearded Veteran said, no probs. Adrian's saying, I completed the 5 books of the Kai and I'm picking up the next 7 books for the Magna Kai tomorrow. Oh, crikey, you're doing lots of reading. I'm a really slow reader, so I can't claim to be as good or to read as quickly as that. Square Sean Bean Quest is a variant of Goblin Quest. You play 5 Sean Beans and have to keep them alive until the end of the film. Sean Bean's Quest is basically Goblin Quest. Yeah. Okay, got you. Gotcha. Adrian's saying that thingy quest, Dragon Meat, sorry, is at the end of, or middle of December. Okay, so at least we know where to go. Right, what we got on our little mini Steve? We need some more browns here, don't we? Right, so what is everyone else painting tonight? Is anyone else painting anything tonight? Had a few people in the chat. We've got Pit Stop Penny. We've got Butterfly Horse. What are you painting tonight, peeps? Are you painting anything? You might not be painting anything at all. You might be like, I'm not painting anything, Steve, thanks very much. I'm just here tuning in for the geeky vibes. And if you are more than welcome. And if there's any other people, we've got 9 people watching right now, which is pretty good. We've got 9 people watching. Who here watching is new to the channel? Come on, own up, don't be shy. Talk to Steve. Talk to Minis and Muscles. Tell us who you are. And we can all say hello to you on the channel. So do drop a hello into the chat if you're new to the channel. We do have some new viewers, so that's super cool. I'm very happy about new viewers. As I said, we've got 103 subscribers. Come on. I was so excited when I found that out. Oh man, literally so cool. I don't think anybody would even want to listen to my drivel, but you know, obviously my drivel is half decent drivel. So on this one, I'm just leaving the inside of that pouch dark because I think it's quite cool. But I've done the edges in this sort of light brown colour, which seems to be okay. Let's just get the brush in there. Oh, got an overspill slightly, but that's okay. That's all right. We can deal with that. We don't want that too heavy on this because what I do like when you're doing leather and brown sort of packs and pouches and all that, if you keep it quite light with a dark undertone, as in a dark undercoat, sorry, it then looks really leathery. I know it sounds really stupid. It looks really leathery. No, you get like a kind of colour fade through, so the black actually shines through, and it gives the brown different colorations. Is that the right word? That come through. So as you see this drying, you'll see like the darks come through on it, and that just gives it a more natural look. And I like that. I like the natural look. So here we go. Let's paint the other pouch, and it's just a basic brown. What brown is this I'm using? I'm using Gawthor brown, so it's actually a layer paint, which is fine because it's slightly thinner, which is quite nice. So it's a slightly thinner Citadel paint, which is cool for this job. I've just noticed there's a couple of holes in this Mini, but we'll see. We might have to plug them with a bit of green stuff. There we go. Oh, by the way, what are we thinking of the music tonight, guys? As usual, we've got our Pocket Bard playing in the background. Pocket Bard is a free app. No, I'm not sponsored by them. I talk about them because they're cool. Pocket Bard is a free app you can download. It's an interactive application that you can use for thematic music for your D&D settings or your game settings, and I absolutely love it. I think it's bloody brilliant. So if you haven't got it, go get it because it's freaking cool. That's what we're saying in chat. Oh, need to catch up here. Squarish is saying he's hoping to make dragon meat. We'll have to check budget though. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Always to travel in these events. Bit of veteran. The next Geek Fest is next weekend in Telford with Scale Model World. Yes, it is. It's the biggest scale model show in Europe. It is in my diary, but I'm not sure whether I'll be able to attend that one, dude. I know I said I'd try, but I've got a family engagement that I can't really get out of. But also, I not that I don't want to come to scale model show, but I also don't want to miss this family engagement. It's a special family get-together thing. And family's very, very important. So yeah, so I'm not sure that I'll make this one now. But we'll see. It might yet change. So we've got those there. We've got the pistol there. We've got the pouch there. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so he's coming along. He does need his belt in the centre done. I don't know whether to keep that brown or... I think I might just go brown on that. Just to give it some differentiation. Differation? That's not even a word, is it? Come on, Steve. Let's go to mini cam and let's change up our cam. Whoop! Just to give you a little better view on how he's looking. So we've got the pouch on the underside done, and we've got the pouch this side done. I have to start doing the multi-melter. I am going to paint that, although I'm going to change it. I'm just going to paint it just to see how it looks. But he's there. Oh, crikey, he is there. He's looking half decent. He's got his sort of dual tone on the reds, so he's cool. Right, let's just lay that one down and go back to our MacBook. Oh, so let me move that out of the way. Throw that out of the way. That's our cable that I have for my video camera, so it doesn't cut out. That's our mini cam. So yeah, when we're talking about our fighting fantasy books, one thing I love is the interactive gameplay. So as I said, it does require 2d6 to play, and you roll them at different scenarios. It might be a luck roll, it might be a fighting combat scene, and you roll dice against you roll them yourself, but you roll them for you and you roll them for the enemy, which is actually really cool. It's quite a fun aspect of it. That's another thing why I like it, because not only do you choose where you go in the book, but actually it allows you to interact and have that gaming or gamification of a book, which is really cool, right? Absolutely love that. What are we saying here? Oh, Butterfly Horse. Does a unicorn jewellery box count? Yeah, if you're making a unicorn jewellery box and that's what you're painting tonight, yes. Yes, that counts. That's okay. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's not a model. It's still a bit of hobbying. It's still geeky. It's still fun. And we love to have you here. So that's the main thing. Penny's Pit Stop is saying Sean Bean Quest sounds fun. I'll take 006 Ned Stark, the guy from this O2 advert, Sharp and Farmer Grey. Oh, crikey. Ned Stark. Bearded Veteran saying, I'm painting my Knowles' Marvellous Miniatures Nikoloth, which I've called Nigel. So, here's a question about Marvellous Miniatures. So, the Knowles' Marvellous Miniatures, which are made by Wizards of the Coast, does anyone rate them? Personally, I'm not a fan of the print quality of them. I've got a few myself, but I'm a bit sort of underwhelmed by the print quality. They're a bit off sometimes. Adrian's saying, sorry Steve, I stand corrected. Last year and the year before it was the first Saturday of December. Ah, okay. 30th of November. Oh, did I miss that? It's further up in the chat. Chat's going cray. Dragon Meat website saying 30. I thought it was November, yeah. So it is November, 30th of November. That is in London, in Hammersmith. I can't remember, is it the Novotel, I think, in Hammersmith? So that was lots of geeky stuff, from board games to... some people do dress up for that as well. Board games to tabletop role-playing games to books to all of that sort of geeky stuff. So if you're interested, come along to Dragon Meat. And it's pretty cheap as well. Penny's saying she's enjoying the music. If I had to be critical, the volume could do with being a touch lower. Okay, let's do that. I like critical thinking and good feedback, so I will lower that. What's the music app called again? The music app is called Pocket Bard. On St Andrew's Day. Yes, Adrian, and St Andrew's Day. Is scale model world 1-to-1. Always a joker, Adrian. Always a joker. Penny's saying about the Knowles' model. I have one, a Venom Troll. For the price I paid, I think it's worth it. It's not to GW standard, but it's a fraction of the price. Yes. Yeah, so I would admit... Yeah, Pocket Bard, Penny. Pocket Bard. That is the one you want. But you're saying about the quality of Watsy Miniatures, Knowles' Miniatures to Games Workshop, yes, completely different standard, but completely different price. So you are completely correct. Oh, so it's about middle of the show, and I don't want to leave it till the end. Let's get into our muscle moment. So, in our muscle moment, every week on Minis-N-Muscles, we talk about something to do with fitness. That's what the channel is about, Minis and Muscles, because it's healthy for mind, body and soul, doing a geeky hobby and enjoying it for the mental benefits that you get from painting miniatures to playing role-playing games with your friends, and then also in the body and mind aspects of how fitness impacts you and can help you as an individual. Penny's Pistol saying, I have a video on my channel released last week where I paint him. Oh, he's okay, nice. I shall check out your channel afterwards, Penny. But what I wanted to talk about today in our muscle moment was all about the difference sort of between heavy lifting with low repetitions versus lighter lifting and higher reps. And the kind of basic differences, just to give you an understanding of what could be good if you wanted to start a fitness journey of some sort. So let's start with heavy lifting, low reps. So heavy lifting, low reps, what are our benefits? So heavy lifting, low reps is really about targeting strength and power. It helps with things like muscle density and training the body to withstand heavier loads, really. Now, oh, so Penny's saying, so what's your show for 1 hour? And I'm really, oh, thank you. It's such a good show that I've not done much painting as I'm too busy watching you. Oh, Penny, love going out to you, Penny Pitstop. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Honestly, I love chatting with you guys on a Friday. It is like a highlight of my week, and I mean it genuinely from the bottom of my heart. I absolutely love talking to you guys, sharing my passion and my enthusiasm for muscles and for miniatures. Absolutely love it. So thank you, Penny. That really means a lot. But yeah, when I talk about the benefits of heavy lifts, low reps. So yeah, it's really about building that foundational strength, bone density, stimulating for men, that is, testosterone, and a little bit for women, testosterone production, so your muscles can grow. So what do I mean by heavy lifting with low reps? So heavy lifting, low reps, let's say that everything you do in the gym is 3 sets. So that is 3 times you'll do the same exercise for so many repetitions per exercise. Now, you need to go as heavy as you can. Let's say bicep curls, right? You're going to do bicep curls and you're going to go as heavy as you possibly can for around 6 to 8 repetitions, maybe 10 at a push, but around the sort of 8 mark. If you can get over 6, you know, the last 2 should be a real struggle. And when I say real struggle, you should be, gritting at the teeth, straining as you bring up that arm for that last bicep curl. And then, you sort of go, oh, geez, I'm knackered. And you finish that set and you're absolutely spent. So you have to take that 2 minutes or so to recover. So as heavy as you can, not unrealistically heavy, by the way. Just please do be careful in what you lift. By heavy, I just mean you need to push yourself. You're pushing yourself because you're trying to tear the muscles in a good way, not in a bad way where they tear the muscle off and the bicep snaps. I mean, you're tearing the muscles, micro tears, so that the muscles build over the top and start to build size. Now, by doing heavy weights for low repetitions, you're building size and strength. So if you're looking to build on your size and strength, this is where you need to be in heavy lifting with low reps, okay? So yes, it's good for getting stronger, it's good for powerlifting, it's good for physique building as well. So physique building is good for. It's for size, that is, if you're trying to build size and bulk. Now, potential drawbacks, it is slightly, you can get sucked into to building and pushing big weights, right? There have some drawbacks in the sense that you can hurt yourself. Heavy weights are heavy as crap, right? You could do deadlifts, for example, or squats or something like that, and you can put your back out quite easily. I do it all the time because I'm stupid and I go too crazy sometimes. So you have to be careful in any exercise, really. So please operate in a safe environment, in a safe way. So lighter lifting and higher reps. Now, guys, you might want to go with the low reps, high weight, because low reps, high weight's building muscles and arms and strength. Now, some ladies might enjoy that and they might want that kind of physique. However, the majority of girls that I speak to, whether it's in the gym or whether it's just in social interactions, a lot of them don't want that kind of physique. The kind of physique they want is a toned physique. So, you know, they might say, oh, I don't like this part of my arm, or I don't like XYZ, you know, my leg or my butt or whatever. So, ladies, if that's kind of you and you want to go for toning, and gentlemen, if you're looking just to tone and keep some kind of muscle consistency across your body, go for light lifts with high reps. So this means you're really working for muscular endurance and muscular definition. So if you want, like, you've now got these massively insane arms, now start just to go for the endurance and the muscular definition. Go from the heavy weights into lighter weights, and then just start doing loads more reps of that and pushing that out. I'm just going to catch up with the chat. Penny's saying, Adrian's he's been off all week with a chest and head cold. He's on a biff chit with paid sick leave. So biff chit, for those that are not military, is a sick chit. Hopefully, Adrian, you feel better, sir, and you recover. Bearded veteran, Penny Pitts up saying, I'll be honest, and when I saw the muscle element, I thought, here we go, some gym freak. But actually, he isn't like that at all. No, man, I'm not a gym. Like, I love the gym, but I'm not a gym freak. I'm not like, like absolutely obsessed with it. I do it to promote healthy mind, healthy body. I don't do it because I'm in love with myself and I want to go on stage and do a muscle tournament. That's not me. Like, genuinely not me. I just want to stay fit and healthy for my own good, my own health, and my own sanity. That's why I do it. And that's why I do miniature building as well, for my own sanity. Bearded veteran saying, yeah, told you he is lovely, our Steve. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that, bro. Penny saying, yeah, I agree, but don't tell him I said that. Don't want to inflate his ego. Mate, I have no ego anyway. I have so little, like, self... what's the right word? When you like yourself a lot, the self... This is one thing you'll learn about me, Penny, and those that are new to the channel. I forget stuff all the time. Like, words just fall out of my head. Yeah, so it's self something. Yeah, but anyway, I'm not that kind of guy, so don't worry. But anyway, back to our muscles. I've caught on the chat. We were talking about those lighter weights and more reps. Great for definition, great for endurance, great for ladies that are toning and guys that are looking to then just build upon the muscles that you've already grown. Oh wow, fireworks, cool. I don't know why that happened. Self-esteem and confidence, yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly that, guys, exactly that. It's good for stamina building. So if you're trying to build out that sort of endurance, that stamina side for repetitions, that's absolutely great. High repetition, low weight. So take if you've been operating on a 10 kg dumbbell, go half of that. Half of that, just start working it again, but just double the reps. Now you're working to 20 repetitions. I'd say, 15 to 20 repetitions is where you need to be working. Sometimes more if you want. If it's a big muscle group like your legs, you could do 30 or 40. People might say it's a little bit crazy, but it's really good, especially on big muscles. So if you're trying to gain lean muscle, if you're trying to tone up, absolutely perfect. Low weight, high reps. I would recommend it. So the drawbacks to this, they're not really drawbacks, but I guess the drawback is you're not going to get strong from doing this. I say that. Of course you will get stronger than sitting on your ass doing nothing, but Oh, Pibsy, got to head out. Enjoy your evening, guys. Hopefully catch you next week. Yes, you will indeed, Pibsy. Have a good one. Hope you're all well, although you should be staying to the end of the show. Of course you should be. But no, have a lovely evening, Pibsy. But yeah, drawbacks, you're not going to gain a lot of strength, but, you know, you will gain more than sitting on your bum. Apart from that, I mean, it might be boredom, because when you're entering into that kind of, like if you're thinking strength and going low reps, high weight, you're literally maxing out every time and you'll be knackered and you'll have no time to think in between your next set. When you go with lighter weights, you'll feel sore, but because you're like doing your and you keep on going, you get to the point where you're like, oh man, I sometimes get a bit bored. So that's something that you might want to watch out for, a bit of boredom. But they're both great. You may want to balance the two so that you can, you know, start off on strength and those low repetitions, high weight. And then when you've got to a point where you've got the right size and you want to define, then you switch across. Or if you just want to change up your workout, 100% change it up, keep your body guessing, as Dwight York in Dodgeball says. Love that movie. And keep that going. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a quick summary about high weights, low reps versus low weight, high reps. Fingers crossed. If there's any questions, stick it in the chat. I will answer it. I'm the same. People have been putting me down so long and being so critical that I have low self-esteem and real bad paranoia. If someone tries to befriend me, I assume they have an ulterior motive. Yeah. Yeah, Penny, completely get that. You know, I would say, and this is just from my own experience of life itself in 40 years, but just concentrate on you, love you, and try to love you the best you can. That's really key. To love yourself is really massively important for your own mental health and well-being, you know. Try not to worry about other people and what they're doing. It's very hard to ignore sometimes when you're a self-critical person. You know, it is quite difficult, but it's very important to try and surround yourself with good people, good friends, a community like this, for example, where you can speak freely and openly and honestly and share stuff with people, right? That really helps keep the mind at bay. You know, and if you're ever worried, you know, just take yourself away from that scenario. But it's not always if someone tries to befriend you. That's not always the case. Sometimes it is, because there's always mean people in the world, right? But that's not always the case here. Adrian's saying, what about Tabata? Tabata training is good. That's absolutely fine. I don't particularly worship that. Some do, some don't. I just give tips, Adrian, on what I like and what I found works. Tabata is just a word that's been sort of used for a fad. That's my belief on Tabata, because Tabata's been going for years, but it just weren't called Tabata. Anyway, back to minis. So here we are. We've got our little Steve. So we need some silver now on little Steve, don't we? So hopefully that was a good minis muscle moment for you guys. Whilst we've been chatting away. And that's my paint shaker, trust me. Oh no, we're down to 6 viewers. We were at 9. What happened? Hopefully we'll get some more come back. We did lose Pibsy earlier, so we knew Pibsy was going. How very dare he. I'm just going to paint this book actually whilst we're here. So we've got this little book. I'm just going to give it a darker brown. Here we go. And you start to get into these little pernickety areas where you're sort of going in between fingers and stuff. I may switch to a smaller brush shortly, but right now I think it's okay. It's got like weird little bottles or something on this book. God knows what they are meant to be. I'm not quite sure, but I don't know if you guys can see that actually. But on the book, it looks like little bottles of some sort. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I didn't spot that when I was building the miniature on Hero Forge. but there is some odd little minis, odd little bottles. I'm just going to go over them, and then I can then paint a different colour later, I think, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over the fingers, so don't worry, just because I need to get in between them right now with the brown. And we'll come back to that, so don't panic. Oh, we've got some pages in here. We don't need to paint the pages brown, but we'll go around the edge of the book. So we want a little bit around the edge, just to show the cover of the book is brown. And then we'll apply some sort of, I think we'll probably go with Morghast Bone, which is a nice kind of creamy colour to go around the edge. To go around the pages. I've just realised I've missed a bit of his arm. Okay, right, that's first coat on that. That's good. Happy with that. So, yes, it was informative. Ah! Thank you, Penny. Oh my god, just had a little desk tidy and discovered my cutting mat is grey! Ah, well, I've got a green cutting mat, so no. It's always hilarious, isn't it, when you sort of go through something and you realise you've don't even realise what you've got, and then you're like, oh, yeah, that's that. How funny. Yeah, I do that quite often. Just filling in the bit that I missed earlier. I need to mix up a new bit more colour for that, actually. So my colour I'm using here for his flesh tone, Cadian Flesh, I need to get a new paint. It's too you know, where you leave a paint open for too long and it kind of sets, it goes too hard. And that's what my paint's doing right now. So I had to use some water to water it down so I could use it still, but it just doesn't work very well at all. So I do need to get a new paint. I might do that this weekend. I might grab a new paint. Cadian Flesh Tone is it called? It's like a slightly darker flesh tone rather than like Kislev Flesh, which is I would say like a typical elf type skin that you might want, or an Eldari, you know, that kind of colour. Cadian is a slightly more peachier colour. I mean, it's not perfect for my skin tone, but it will work. I'm not too precious. I don't really care about skin tone, to be fair. I'm certainly not going to cry about it, that's for sure. So, we're all good in the hood on our chat, I hope. What we got going? Unfortunately, I won't be here next Friday. I'll be sat in a hotel bar having beers with two of my co-presenters. Oh, well, that's just not cricket. I don't know if I can allow that, bearded veteran. How very dare you not be here next Friday? But no, hopefully you will be enjoying the show on catch-up instead. But you'll be enjoying, more importantly, you'll be enjoying your friendship and with your buddies, having a few sociable drinks, and enjoying your con that you're going to. So that is far more important than this channel. That is for sure. Friendships, spending time with friends, hugely important. Cannot stress that enough. More important than my YouTube will ever be. Even if I had 1 million followers, I would still be telling you to go and see your friends. Every single one of you. Even if I'd been, you know, Mr. Beast, I'd be telling you to go and see your friends and speak to your friends, because that's important, man. Oh, shoot. You can't get away from that. That's super important. I'm just going to rest him there. Like that. There we go. So, what are we saying? My friend Simon said that paranoia and low self-esteem was called imposter syndrome. I guess it's contextual there, Adrian, in what what circumstances, but yes, I think I probably do have a bit of imposter syndrome in certain scenarios. So yeah, I would agree with that. Green cutting mat, says Penny Pitstop. Commoner! Oh! Penny, you're calling me a commoner? How very dare you? Yeah, I have a green. It's just an army painted one. It's just a cheap one. It cost me like £5. Most of the things I buy, including this brush and things like that, I try and buy as cheap as possible. So yeah, commoner, I'll take it, but green's my favourite colour. Adrian's saying, I hated doing certain mats like first aid and where I had all the skill but doubted my ability to believe I could do it. Yeah, so what Adrian is talking about there, mats, is a military term. It's a military annual training test. No, mandatory annual training test. That's what it is. Crikey. It's not been that long, Steve, since I left. So he's talking about mandatory training that you have to do in the military, and one of them is being first aid, and he doubted himself. Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. Self-critical people do that. And also conscientious people do it. So if you're a conscientious lady or man, and you like to do well, I think we all do that to some extent. The people that don't are not bothered, I think I think they're the crazy ones, not me. So if you do ignore that, then I think you're the crazy ones. I'm only joking. Nobody's crazy. Well, actually, we're all a little bit crazy, right? We're all a little bit crazy. There's no right or wrong, though. In a actual, not joking sense, there is no right or wrong. But yeah, I think if you're self-critical, sometimes it can play a little bit. Can play a little bit on your mind, can't it? I do that a fair amount. But that's only natural. There's no worries about that. I know I know that I do that, so we can avoid it and we can cut around it. Cadian's always lacking that healthy green glow of an orc, says Squarish. Yeah, that's true. They do lack that orky vibe, right? And I do love orc models because they have so many cool models. They really do. I considered that as my army instead of Sisters of Battle. So I did consider orcs, but I didn't go down that route in the end because it's more of a horde army, and although Sisters of Battle is kind of hordy, so I was trying to avoid painting too many miniatures. And I just like the vibe of Sisters in Battle. I like that kind of faith kind of feel. It's quite cool. What else is he saying? I see you put the cross in the middle of your mat too. I do that so I know where it relates. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do that exactly for that reason. So I know where I am. So I think, right, stick the bloody model there. But do you know what? I still forget. I've got a bloody great big cross there, right? And I still cock it up. And I still forget where I am and what I'm doing. Sometimes I genuinely believe I'm absolutely nuts. That'd be fine. I'll be nuts. It's okay. I can be nuts for all of us. Why was supposed to be weapon? Oh, weapon handling test. Yeah, okay. Sorry, bro. I didn't realise. So weapon handling test. Yeah. So as part of your mandatory annual training, you had to complete weapon handling test, so you were safe to operate your weapon, whether that be a pistol, whether that be a rifle, whether that be a light machine gun, whatever that your role is. You were assigned a certain weapon and you were expected to then pass a test to ensure that you were safe to handle that weapon. It's always good fun. What else is he saying? Hopefully it depends on how tired I am after driving back from Telford on the Sunday. Yeah, man, no worries. Penny Pitstop, that's why I have my stickers in a line on the mat. Yeah, I was thinking about that as well, getting some stickers and stuff. That should be quite cool. No, should I paint this pistol red? Should there be red on the pistol? Just thinking. I'm going to paint that white, that little Sisters of Battle crest. I'm going to put some little might bit of gold on here, but should I paint the pistol casing, I guess, red? Should we go for that, guys? What do we think? I'm unsure. I'm unsure. I don't know which direction to take it. Please help me. I am going completely over where I want to be here, by the way, with this silver as I'm going around this edge. But I will tidy this up with black afterwards. But because it's trying to get into these tiny little crevices, I find it just easier to slap it on and then tidy it up with your actual colours that you want afterwards. I just find it easier to do it that way. What we're saying in chat, Penny Pitstop saying, my problem is that I line up the piece properly, then start painting because my sight means I need to look close, and all you see is the back of my scruffy head. No, okay, yeah, I don't quite lean enough in, I don't think, to get in the frame of the picture, because I have. So tip for that, Penny, is don't have your camera directly above. So my camera isn't directly above here, it's actually here. So I'm just pointing to it now. It's actually just off to the side and it's at an angle. That means that I can literally put my head right over my Mini and I'm not in line of the don't block the camera. So that would be my camera setup tip with Minis-N-Muscles. Learn to set your camera up effectively so you don't get your big bonts in the way. I'm going to go with Ubshanti Bone here. So Ubshanti Bone to do a little bit of colour on the pages of my book. Whoop. That's if I don't throw my paints all over. What else was I going to say? I was talking about books, wasn't I? So one thing about fighting fantasy books, right, is they're cool as heck. But by Christ, they're hard. They're super hard. I don't think I've ever completed one. Is that bad to say? A, I read really slowly, right? But B, they're just really difficult. If you want a challenge, honest to God, the fighting fantasy books are so freaking hard. It's not like a computer game where you can just, reload. Well, you can just go back to the same page if you want to, but they're so bloody hard. It's unreal. They're really difficult. I've never completed one properly, so but I don't cheat either, so maybe I should cheat on them so I can complete them. But they're very, very hard. Even when I remember one book, right, and it was a maze. What was it? It was a maze element to it. Was it? Oh, it might be the Firetop Warlock of Firetop Mountain. I was writing the directions down and the pages that were taken. I still couldn't bloody get through that book. Oh my lord, I got so confused. I was trying to draw a map out of where I thought I'd been. Oh man, it was hard. Yeah, I got well confused by that. That was kind of the end of me. Oh, I really did get affected by that. Broke me. But in a good way. They are fun, trust me. It's not just me being a negative Nelly on it. They are very, very good. Just doing the pages, the edges of the pages. I might try and do some script in the pages as well. We'll see how it goes. There we go. Yeah, that looks alright. Okay. Again, I'm using a brush that's probably way too big, really, for doing some of these finer details. Because I don't have a particularly steady hand, so I do have to go quite small sometimes when doing my brushes. What's this? I actually found out how to sort it. I lower my chair and it enables me to look closer. Chair up for making models, chair down for painting fine detail. It's simpler than it sounds. Yeah. I'm confused already. Chair up, chair down, chair up. I'm just on a fold-up chair thing. I do have a posh PlayStation-y type chair, but that's the other side of my man cave. And where I am here, where I do my painting and my channel, with my little backdrop and stuff, is I've just got this little fold-up chair that I've had for like 10 years. Oh dear. Bought it in my first ever house. This little fold-up chair was where, in my first house that I rented, when I left the military, I bought a fold-up chair and a fold-down table all from IKEA. And this is still the fold-up chair, so I'm well chuffed. What we got in chat? Adrian, go to page 400. The Maze of Zagor. Ah, yeah. We'll be on Discord tonight, JPC. Okay, brother, no worries. I hope you're doing well and you're keeping all right. I say brother, but actually, JPC, I don't know if you are my brother, as in guy. So I do apologise if I've called you a guy when you're not a guy, or vice versa. I do apologise profusely. Just add a little bit to his sideburns here. There we go. Same on this side. No, hair looks a bit odd this side. Doesn't look quite right. I'll get a bit more brown on there. Right, too thin. That's better. Okay, right. There we go. Alrighty, Steve's looking good. Oh shit, and I just frickin' throw him everywhere. And I've just sworn on my YouTube, darn. Sorry YouTube, didn't mean to swear. Don't ban me for life. Yeah, with the Fighting Fantasy books as well, I tell you what, there are so many... oh, Penny saying, may I have the link to your Discord? Yes. If I will have you, Penny, of course. Not a problem. I will find the link for my Discord as we speak. Where is it? Discord. The Minis-N-Muscles server. Let's find a... oh, where is it? Invite people. So if I go there and I can say copy link... and then I can minimise that, and then I can go, oh no! Where's my chat gone? Window. Oh, hang about. No. Go back to here. There we are. So if I paste that in there, I'll click that, there you go, there's the Discord. You are very welcome. Right, we've got some more silver to do, so we've got this weapon on his left hip. So yeah, it does have dual pistols, this geezer. Sorry, Little Steve. He does have dual pistols. So he has got a secondary pistol that he hasn't drawn right now. Actually, a Ministorum Priest doesn't technically, by the character sheet, have a second weapon. But for flavour, I gave him a second pistol because it looks cool as heck. I just thought it was quite a nice little addition to have on the Mini itself. Although I'm kind of regretting it. Because it's quite a bitch to paint. So on Hero Forge you do get a lot of options, and I would say to take a... it's cool to have all these options, but actually, again, I think it's much like painting. Less is more. And the less you go for, probably the better. That would be my advice if you are going to Hero Forge and making your own model. However, at some point, hopefully, the channel gets so popular, we can just put the Minis-N-Muscles Steve Mini up for STL download, and you can download your own Mini Steve and paint him. That would be quite funny, wouldn't it? We could have like a competition for painting Mini Steve. Oh man, that'd be nuts if that got to that point. The channel got to that point, that is. That'd be pretty cool. It would be cool. Right. Ah! Dropping my pen. My paint brush. So one thing we're talking about are books and our Choose Your Own Adventure books, that kind of style. One thing I do love about them is there's quite a lot of different themes. Even in the fighting fantasy books alone. There's loads of different scenarios, places that you can venture to, whether it's a sort of haunted house to jungles. You know, there are loads of different settings. So I would hazard a guess that for the majority of us geeky people, there's plenty to choose from if you were, you know, interested in partaking in a choose your own adventure style book. There's plenty for you to go for, so don't think that it's not for you. Give it a bash. If you read, that is, and enjoy reading, what you can do, there is an app. So Fighting Fantasy do have an app for iPhone, for iPads, etc. And you can download the app and get it on your iPad or iPhone. I think it's probably for Android as well. I just don't have an Android device, so I don't know. But you might be able to download the app. I think it's called Fighting Fantasy Classics. Let me check. Just Fighting Fantasy. I think. I'm just looking at the app now. Fighting Fantasy. Yeah, so you can just download the app. It's a free app. There is one book I think you get for free, and then the rest you have to pay for. But that's absolutely fine, right? Because, you know, having one free book, it just gives you something to try. Is little Steve going to have some tattoos? Mate, great shout. So I'd have to paint the underside of his arms, wouldn't I? That would be really difficult to paint. Crikey. I don't know if I've got the... don't know if I've got the minerals to paint tattoos on little Steve, but I should, shouldn't I? He should get tattoos, really. I'd be doing him a criminal injustice there if I didn't give him matching tattoos. So I think, Adrian, you're probably right. I'll probably have to sit there, possibly not on the stream, because I do find painting on stream is actually a lot harder than painting by yourself, because when you're constantly talking all the time, you do cock things up and you do miss a lot of things. So I'll finish this model, for example, and then I'll be like, oh my god, I didn't do that, or I didn't do this, oh my god, that looks terrible. And I'll have to redo X, Y, Z, purely because I am talking way too much to you guys and just enjoying chatting, right? Enjoying building the community that we've got. So I will try to do the tattoos, but I will probably do that off stream so that I can really sit there in silence and give it a bash. Because I think it would be an injustice if he didn't have my tattoos, right? It wouldn't be me if he didn't have them. So, by the way, we had a challenge last week where people were trying to guess my tattoos and what they were. Did anyone work it out? There's the question for you. Did anyone work out what my tattoos were? I think someone on the stream was talking about it. Well, in fact, all of you were talking about it on the stream last week. What are your tattoos? And I didn't tell you, and I said if you work it out, there'll be a prize. That still stands. If you work out what my tattoos are, and you message me, either DM me or whatever, and tell me what they are, I will give a prize to the winner. You will get a little prize sent to you in the post from me. So yeah, it's worth a shot, right? So you never know what you might find or might not find. So who else we got listening and watching tonight on Minis and Muscles? Do we have any other new people online watching? Do we have anyone else that I met at Comic Con, for example? Any of you online at Comic Con? The new subscribers to Minis and Muscles that I met at Comic Con that was sat there with me doing a bit of painting. Any of you guys online tonight? So we've already found that we've got a new member that's very chatty in the form of Penny Pitstop, or Penny's Pitstop, and she's very kindly contributing wonderfully to the chat and joining in. I just wonder whether there's any other new subscribers that are listening in. It's very nice to chat to new people and to meet new friends. So I just wonder whether any new friends are online. So what we're doing... Oh, sorry. I was out of camera then. What I'm now doing is I'm just doing the belt. I just wanted to break up the feel of the model and give it something that wasn't black around his waist. Just because we've already got... It's quite... Sisters of Battle are quite heavy black... Oh, damn, wrong brown. Sisters of Battle are quite heavy on the black. Which is fine. But sometimes I just like to break the model up slightly with a different shade or a different colour. So I do always recommend you to try and have a couple of different browns, for example, in your collection of paints. It's always worthwhile. Because it just gives you a little bit extra to paint, a little bit of different tonage, which is always appreciative, and it might just be that little standout piece that you need just to make the model pop. Pop. Oh, that's going to be tricky, getting around the edge there. That's a really fine little tiny edge around that corner. Oh, did we do it? Oh, yeah, we did it. We got it. We got it, people. We got him. I just want to do the edge of this little bit there. Because that's the edge of the belt, not the habit, so... Very carefully just around the edge there. On that side and this side. And I need to do this in between. Oh, that actually might... Ah, it just went a little bit too high. Darn. Okay, alright, that's no problem. No problem. We will be okay with that because we can touch that in. Not a problem. Just go along the back there with the brown, just to show that he's got the belt on as well as his habit. Around the edge. That's a really tight bit as well. Eesh. In fact, we might get away with that if I touch that in. Okay, cool. So right now he's actually looking half decent, right? He's got his book, he's got his belt, he's got his holster with his pistol, he's got the other holster free. With this pistol that's never going to fit in that holster in a million years, but you know, we'll bear with it. He's got his little book. We can start to paint some details on the book actually, so those sort of little bottles or those little... I think they're going to be like a metallic-y, kind of bronzy kind of thing or something on there, I think. That's what we'll go for. Let's change camera up just so I can show you from a different dimension. Here he is. So that's what he looks like. It's fairly simple. It's nothing crazy. With my painting, I don't go crazy painting. I don't do anything mad. I keep it really simple because I'm a simple individual, and simple is effective. You don't need many colours. You don't always need to go crazy with how you're shading or whatnot. It can be really simple. Simple textures can come out really nicely when you have, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 colours, primary colours that you use. What we got on in chat? Well, there is certainly a bit of wiggle room. Little Steve obviously has 40k contact lenses. Yes, that is true. So I don't actually have to wear glasses, right? I can not wear glasses. I can see perfectly well. The difference is so I have astigmatism. So that means that your eyeball's not the right shape. So actually, when you look at stuff... I can see everything here, I can read everything, I can read the comments in the screens, but what it does do is that it means that when you're looking at detail, I've just got to rub my eyes now, taking my glasses off, when you're looking at detail, actually it's like what's the best way to describe it? Without my glasses, it's like standard definition telly. With my glasses, it's like HD. That's the only difference, especially when you're doing mini painting. I find it very, very helpful to be able to wear my glasses. By the way, this is not a can of alcohol. This is Liquid Death. It's water, flavoured water. It looks like a can of alcohol, though. I'm very conscious of that, but it's not, I promise you. Don't drink alcohol, so not since I was in the military anyway. So yeah. So we can have contact lenses. What's Billy Veteran saying? Is it lamb Rogan Josh, pilau rice and a side of poppadoms? Oh, what's he talking about? No, it's wax on, wax off. Number 4, number 42 with a side of chips. What am I talking? Did I talk about my favourite food or something? Did I? I have astigmatism as well, but I have to wear glasses all the time these days. To be fair, mate, I do wear them mostly purely because it just makes things crisper. It's just nicer, right? And I also find if I do wear them, if I get up in the first thing in the morning and I put them on, then if I take them off in the day, it's harder for your eyes to adjust. But yeah. Oh, my tattoos! Oh, yeah, so there you go. If you can work it out, there's a prize in it for you. So you can obviously go back, pause that frame where I've just shown you my tattoos and work it out. No, so my tattoos certainly don't stand for wax on, wax off. And it certainly doesn't stand for Lamb Rogan Josh. So good guesses, guys. Good guesses. But not good enough. If there's any other guesses to my tattoos, then I will send you a mini. So if you do guess it right, or break the code, then I will send you a mini. You have to DM me your address. So I will then send you a mini, a special mini, as a prize for getting it right. So what was I going to do? Oh, that's right. I was going to just repair this little side. I just wanted to take off an edge that I missed on the back there and round on his hip where I was putting that belt on. It's really difficult to get in there, so I just want to re-go over with the skin tone and just round it off so it doesn't look like I've gone in there and painted the belt. It looks like I was really good and did it first try, and the belt just sits there nicely. So it's always about like going back on a mini and just touching in. Oh, I forgot to change my camera, sorry guys. It's all about going back to your mini and just touching in. So like I said, I've gone around here, and where I just shot over on the brown on the belt, I've just gone back with the skin tone, just gone over and just rounded it, just so it looks really smart and tidy. I could have left it, it would have been, oh, I've just noticed a really terrible mould line or something on his elbow. Looks like I've got a square elbow pad on. But yeah, just go around and just tidy the mini up. That's what it's all about. Little improvements here and there. That's all you need to do. Like that for the fingers, just to get the fingers right. Now we want to do that little book. So that little book, let's zoom in again. Oh no, we can't. That is the limit of the zoom before it goes out of focus. But on that book you can see there's like little tiny, looks like almost like glass vials perhaps, or bits of metal. I'm going to put them as some shiny metals, some golds and things. So that's what I think would stand out, just because there's not a lot of different colours on this mini. So I'm going to get a gold, and I'm going to get a, well, it's actually these two colours. So I'm going to go for Retributor Armour and Screaming Bell, which is like a bronze. So I'm going to go for those two colours just to mix it. Oh god, this mix is so darn good. Like I can even hear it mixing. Oh man, that excites me. It's so good. Like the last one I bought, like it was okay, but it was so terrible at actually mixing the paints. This is really good. Like seriously good. I'm very impressed by this. What's the make of it? Just so I can tell you guys. 4E's Scientific. So 4 as in spelling out the number 4, and then E's, big capital E with a small S next to it. It's so good. So, what are we saying here? Adrian's saying red ones go faster. Yeah. JPC's finally sitting at his desk. Hurrah, JPC! You're at your desk, brother. Nice one. Ready to paint. Ready to get some minis done. I'm actually going to take from this one straight from the pot. I'm just going to do that one there and that one there. So two little sort of reflectivey, sort of goldy type, bronzy type portions of the book, just because it makes it look different, just a bit of a standout point on the mini. You don't want to put too much gold or whatever on a mini, well, sometimes anyway, but with things like this, it's just nice to have one or two little bits that just stick out. And I feel that on this one, this is the bit that you want. And there we go. Might have to redo the finger again, but you know, never mind. That's okay. So on there, you just get sort of that. Can you see that on there? Yeah, just about. So I think that looks quite cool. Oh, we've got a little, what's it called down here on his leg that we need to do. So that is another little detail. So what are they called? You know where you get the little wax stamps that go onto your mini, and it has a little piece of cloth that comes off the mini and it has some writing on it. There's something that's called, but it's very, very cool. All the Sisters of Battles have it. Well, majority of them have it. I can't remember what the bloody name is called, but my guy has one on his leg, so we're going to paint that. Ah! Throwing it. Oh no, I just broke a mini by throwing my paint pot. So JPC's saying, bravo, I have a head and jetpack to work on. Nice. Purity seal, Penny's pit stop, that's the word. Nice, purity seal. It's exactly what I want, or I wanted to say. So that's what we're going to do here. So add that on there, nice. So that's the centre wax point. And then we're going to put the cloth that comes off of it as well. So what else are we saying? Vellum bookmark. No, it's not vellum bookmark, bro. It's the purity seal. Medical shaker 4Es. Sounds like you are well equipped to become a drugs baron there. Yeah, no drugs here. Drugs are bad, okay? But we will use some Ashanti bone. Will we use some Ashanti bone? No, let's go for Morghast bone, which is a slightly darker shade. We used Ashanti bone for the book, right? So I do try to use colour variants just to give it some slightly different tone across the model. Otherwise, it all looks the same. It all looks a bit boring. Yeah, I'm well impressed with this mixer. It's very good. I'm going to go straight from the pot here, purely because it's only this tiny little bit here. Oh, I'll come back into frame. It's that tiny little bit there. There we go. We need to go across the edge, back side of that. Yeah, there we are. There we go. So it's just a little seal, a purity seal that goes on his leg. Because of course, Mini Steve has earned his purity seal from a valiant battle, without a shadow of a doubt. As a Ministorian priest, he has shown his dedication to the Sisters of Battle. I'm just going to add to the top of that purity seal just to give it that 3D feel, or the shape of it. I just realised I missed the sides of it. That's not good. So just cover that off. It's actually more square shaped there. I don't know whether I've got that right. Oh, he's got one on this side as well. Okay, right, let's do this side too then. Yeah, we are in the camera. Good. Sorry guys, I just have to keep on checking with myself that we are in the camera. Now I've got one on both sides. I'm not sure this is a purity seal, but you know, we're going to roll with it. We're going to say it is, and that's what we're going to go for. So there. Right, we've got that there. Boop. Oh, dropped him. He's dead. Man down. And we're going to just put that Abshanti bone. No, the Morghast bone. That's what we want. We're just going to put that across the rest of that purity seal. Right, spin him round. And just fill in that there. Nice. There we go. There we are. Perfect. Alright, so let's stop there because it is 9 o'clock. It's kind of coming up to the end of what we do now, really. Because it is late on a Friday. Let's change our camera back to the main screen and we can see each other. I can move this out of the way just so it's just slightly lower. So, today's stream we have painted our mini Steve to a point anyway. So he's got his purity seals on, he's got his weapons slightly done, he's got his hair, he's got his muscles, he's got his book. There you go. His pouch with his other pistol in, if you can just about see that if I tilt that up that way. So it's looking quite cool, right? And he is going to ride on our tank. So he has this little section here, so this sort of pulpit area that I sort of cut out of scraps. And he is going to go basically on here. Oh, let's get him in position. It's weird doing it back to front, actually. He's basically going to go roughly there, and he's going to be riding the tank into battle. And then behind him, you're going to have this screen. So this lovely stained glass window that we've painted. And that is kind of the vibe. And that is what he's going to look like. Yeah. Yeah, so Adrian, I didn't have a flamer. So I had to nick something. I'm probably going to take, as I said, I'm probably going to take this off. Because it's a multi-melter. I can't remember what the bloody hell it's called now. Combi weapon. That's what it was off of. It was off of a combi weapon. So I'm actually going to change that for something else. But anyway, so people, it's Friday. It's the end of our stream, or coming up to the end of our stream. So today we've talked about lots of geeky books, so fighting fantasy books and choose your own adventure books and why they're cool. I would suggest 100% if you've never tried them, download the Fighting Fantasy book app, or go to your local bookstore or to eBay or something like that, or Vinted. Get yourself a little book. Why not? Try it. It's a choose your own adventure style book. You throw a few dice when you hit certain things like skill tests and combat. It's really cool. It's another point of being a geek and enjoying this lovely world that we all live in, and just experiencing it from a different angle. We today have also covered our muscle moments, so we talked about low weight, high reps, and high weight and low reps, the benefits for both and what you can do. We have continued our painting of our kit bashed rhino that we're converting into an emulator tank. So we've continued that, and we've had a wonderful time. As I said at the start of the show, we have had an increase of subscribers. We are now over the 100 mark. Come on! We are at 103 subscribers. I am super, super chuffed. Like, genuinely, my passion is just to build a lovely community. That's it. Just to share talking geek crap, painting minis, and just enjoying the vibes on a Friday evening with you guys and girls. It's absolutely wonderful. So thank you to everybody for the continued support that you give me here on this channel. It's not monetized. I do it for the love and for the fun. So thank you very, very much. And what's he saying in the chat? The tank is known as the Stevatron. It certainly is known as the Stevatron. Thank you to you, Bearded Veteran, for the name. Next week, what I will try to do in between is I will try to do some tattoos on his arms so he matches my tattoos, and I'll try to do some text on the book. We'll see how that comes out. But I will try to do that in the downtime when I'm not talking to you guys and I can just sit here in quiet and really concentrate for those fine details. I'll try to get those in so he's ready and done for next week. And you'll see him, we can stick him on the Mini. And then we'll continue with the rest of the bits and bobs on our Mini. So yes, as I said, thank you for everyone for joining. As always, it's a pleasure to have you on board with us here at Minis and Muscles, the only place to be on a Friday to get your geekery out of the system. Enjoy your weekend. Please do have a wonderful time. Share the channel with your friends, your family. Get the grands on. We'll have some grannies on chatting minis. I'd love to see us continue to grow and continue to love what we do, promoting the geek culture amongst absolutely everybody for a healthy mind, a healthy body and a healthy soul. Until next Friday, I will speak to you all then. If not, hit me up on the Discord. We can chat on the Discord anytime you like. But until then, enjoy your weekend. Have an absolutely fantastic one. Mucho love to every single one of you. See you all soon. Thanks very much.